Hello and good morning and welcome back to TGC's Morning Glory. It was literally, Pezza, 1.5 games ago when Sri Lanka were none for 120. Australia were basically out of the tournament. Now they've beaten Sri Lanka and Pakistan in tight enough games, and they're currently sitting fourth in the World Cup table or ladder, whatever your preference is for that word. We will continue to make sweeping binary thoughts and accusations on a team that I called literally 2 games ago a gang of useless pricks that are now, of course, my favourite ever cricketers that's ever existed. One day they will bore my children's names will bore these people's names in their middle names, such as the esteem that I hold these men in. If you want us to get players' names tattooed on our faces, then please click subscribe on the channel.
Oh, thanks.
And join us here for all the reviews and the fun here during the World Cup. There's a massive game tonight, England and South Africa. Then on Sunday, we've got New Zealand and India, or indeed India and New Zealand as the host nation, reviewing both of those games. More to come here on the channel, so click subscribe. We're nearly at 250,000 subscribers, which is a fun little number, meaning really nothing, but it's kind of just a fun, nice, round number. TGC is brought to you by Cricket.com. You can download the Cricket.com app from the App Store right now for all the fun and frivolity. Cricket.com doing fine work actually outside Chinnaswamy Stadium last night, where it was shown that you couldn't wear a hat into the grounds. They weren't letting people wear hats into the grounds on a hot day. Normal stuff. But Cricket.com doing fine work and also supporting TGC. Australia defended 367 for 9 by bowling Pakistan out for 305. Pakistan at one point were 3 for 230 with 15 overs left. Ended up losing 7 for about 70 or something. But Australia now, how easily are they going to win the World Cup?
Oh, mate, we're purring.
Yeah.
We're purring,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of really good things about this. Again, you can go through the performances, you know. It's, Zorba and Stoinis coming up clutch. We'll talk about that. Mitch Marsh ton up on his birthday. Warner doing Warner things, 160. That's daddy ODI ton stuff.
Big time.
Boys closed it out well, and still not happy.
Yeah,
I'm not happy.
Yeah.
A lot of still leaking with holes all through it. I'm unhappy with 360.
Yeah,
I'm unhappy with letting them get close.
Yeah.
And as is my right and want as an Australian.
Of course.
And paradoxically, that's exactly where we want to be. That's a perfect performance.
Yes.
Dust up Pakistan, head into the top 4, do some stuff that we haven't seen. Guys coming into form. The nation's still unhappy because we want more.
Very much a 6 out of 10 performance from Australia in the last couple of games. I've not really seen them put together a performance that is sort of like, oh, I'm interested now, you know. Last night when Australia in the prime time on a Friday night against a big nation, flat deck, they lose the toss, get sent in, and Marsh and Warner, they're none for 240 or something. You'd think, well, this is a purring performance. The country's invested. I don't think so. And they sort of let it slip a little bit, but 6 out of 10, 4 points, 2 wins, 2 losses. I'm so. I'm not really caring too much at the moment.
You smoked 3 packs of cigarettes last night, dealing with
just anxiety.
Stress, yeah,
just anxiety. Let's get into the first of the 3 things. And I want to talk about Zampa and Papi Stoinis clutching up. Zampa finished...
Is that the term, clutch up?
Clutch
is that what
up.
You say? Oh,
they clutched up.
Yeah. Okay.
Zampa 4 for 53. Zampa took the wickets of Babar, Rizwan, Iftikhar and Nawaz. There was a great catch by Cummins at mid-wicket to dismiss Babar as well. We understand... I don't know if this has been reported or not, but Zampa's been in quite a lot of pain and
lots of areas.
Yeah, and was ill yesterday, before the game as well yesterday. So his performance in the last couple of games, he's now taken 8 wickets in 2 games, has been enormous. Stoinis finished 2 for 40 off 5 overs, but he took the wickets of both openers.
Got the party started.
Imam and Abdullah Shafiq. Pakistan's openers were none for 34. They put 134 on for the first wicket. Stoinis gets a wicket first ball, then gets the other opener a couple of overs later. So he sort of busted the game open. But between those two, it was looking pretty precarious for Australia. So it's so important that the Zampa especially is purring.
Changes everything.
I don't think he's anywhere near fully fit. But his performance has been amazing.
They're calling him Lazarus.
Yeah.
They're calling him Lazarus. No,
Glenn?
Lazarus. Lazarus Rising.
Right.
Is the story from the Christian Judeo Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lazarus battling. You know the story?
Yeah, well, tell me anyway.
I don't really know. I think he was hurt. He was down. It wasn't looking good for him. And Jesus came in. Jesus or God, one of the two.
Yeah. He was batting 8.
Was knocking around and sort of went, and then Lazarus good to go.
Okay.
Lazarus battling, Lazarus up and about. And and that's what they're saying. That's what they're calling Zampa. They're calling him Lazarus.
Okay.
He had flu. He has flu symptoms.
Yep.
He has a Gregory Peck issue.
Yeah.
He's got a Jimmy Jack.
Yep.
And he's still coming up trumps. He's got his control back, Zampa.
Yeah.
And Iftikhar and Mo Rizwan were going. I still felt watching it that it was still a bit beyond them. Australia
Pakistan?
getting through. When Pakistan were batting, Iftikhar was, I think so. It was Saud Shakil just before that, who was in with Rizwan. He was okay, 30 off 31, and then Iftikhar came in and stepped it up a little bit. And you're looking at like they need to go sort of 8s, 8.5, but only for about 70 balls or so.
Yeah,
and Zampa changed the game. Wickets in 3 consecutive overs. Dagger in the heart. Good night, nurse. Lazarus is up and about. Boys are on. Slight
bit of luck getting Rizwan. That was the big wicket at that point. It was the last big wicket left, given how important Rizwan is and what he did against Sri Lanka, and even in this World Cup, scoring that massive 100 to beat Sri Lanka.
Luck? You just pad bat? What do you mean?
No, I mean the luck was that he gets the umpire's call on the field, and it's just nicking leg. Yeah, I mean
we'll take it when it's ours. When it's ours, and then we'll get the shits with someone else.
If it's hitting, it's hitting.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those ones, whatever that means.
It looked like you could easily give it not out.
Yeah. So Rizwan
cricket's funny like that.
So Rizwan starts well outside the off stump to play a bit of cat and mouse. He was foxing. And then steps right across his stumps, a sweep, misses the sweep, hits him in front, and it's just nicking leg stump, gets the call on the field. Rizwan reviews it, and it is just nicking, so he's out. So, but Australia's fielding was not great yesterday. Pakistan's was worse, but Abbott dropped a really simple chance. By his standards, he's a very good fielder, Abbott. Earlier on,
buckets
off that was Shafiq that he put down early on. Didn't cost them too much, not nearly as much as what Warner's drop was earlier. But just note for Cummins in the last couple of games where he's run out against Sri Lanka. The catching was last night. He took a very good catch off Babar at short mid wickets. Just these little things are like Australia. It did feel so very much like a 7.5 performance out of 10. That might be harsh. 8 probably fair. But the captain, whilst his bowling is probably still unders in white ball cricket, he is bringing something value. He is bringing value to the team in the field at least. And I thought the same thing about Stoinis. So Stoinis' batting, I think, he averages 27. I don't think you're ever going to really change that much over the course of his career. I don't think he's all of a sudden going to average 45 in ODI cricket. But what he brings to the team, Stoinis, in terms of his fielding, his energy, and his bowling is significantly better, I think, than Cam Green in white ball cricket. It's a key cog. I think it's a key.
He took a great catch too. A
very good catch.
Saud Shakil, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes.
that was Cummins who came and
broke
that up as well.
Yeah.
So both of those guys. Stoinis, obviously, the old-fashioned partnership breaker.
Yeah.
It's kind of harsh. I feel like if you call a bowler a partnership breaker, you're effectively saying that they're a little bit unders for the It's not just a wicket. You've come on to break the partnership.
Yeah.
Because of the how poor your bowling is.
Yeah.
The batters have had to change their approach.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's fair for Stoinis, but that's what he did. And
it's like when they called Ganguly a man with a golden arm. It's kind of like, mate, we don't know how you're doing this.
Yeah.
But, good luck to you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Get him on.
It's obviously like imbued with some kind of magic that's beyond what we can see because it looks like dog shit.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. All right, we'll talk about anyway. I guess Pakistan eventually, as you were saying, a little bit unders. They fell in a heap in the end, losing 7 for about 70. But earlier on, let's talk about the Bull and the Bison, Warner and Marsh, opening stand of 259. Australia then lose 9 for 108 in the last 16 overs, but Warner dropped on 10 by Osama Mir, who had come in to replace Shadab Khan in the game. The Pakistan meme guy from 2019 got a fantastic run. When that happened, that was also off Warner as well. Yeah. Also off a left arm seamer. This time it was Shaheen. Last time I think it was Wahab Riaz. I think he was bowling. Yeah. But great to get a run again for the Pakistan meme drop catch guy.
Yeah.
Not the official name, but you know what I'm talking about. Has a catch cost more in an ODI? 153 that drop cost?
Yeah.
Fuck, it was a sitter.
Shaheen fell to his knees.
Mate, if you're an international cricketer, how do you not fucking rip his head off? with that. That is
that would be a scene.
That was one of the easiest catches I've seen dropped in international cricket because there's no spin on it. Didn't lose it in the sun.
Yep.
Didn't even get a fucking hand on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some proper Pakistan dog shit fielding gear, which I'm here for.
He didn't even feign to like the sun as a fake.
Yeah.
Like as an alibi.
Or an injury.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a finger.
Yeah.
I put my body on the line for the team.
Yeah,
I saved 2 runs there.
I got sunscreen in my eye. Something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, even when you look around at people as the catch is in the air, you can actually see the resignation, not only of Warner, but of Marsh. Like, Marsh makes no attempt to, watch the ball. I think he takes his eyes off, or watch around it, like Marsh takes his eyes off the
It was a dot ball.
He starts to go back to his crease, probably, commencing preparations for Smith coming in or whatever.
His birthday party.
Well, and Marsh, shout out to the Chinnaswamy crowd who
I saw that.
He sung Happy Birthday to Mitch Marsh.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. Nice touch. Anyway, absolutely awful drop there. Warner then makes 163 off 124, 14 fours, 9 sixes. Mitch Marsh at the other end, 121, obviously on his 32nd birthday for 108, 10 fours, 9 sixes. And I'm going to use this moment, I think, Pez, for...
It's time for cricket.com stat dog.
Who's the good little boy?
Pirate, go ahead and go, man.
Who better?
Cricket.com stat dog.
Who's the good little boy?
Just goes on for a little bit longer than what you think. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about here. Okay, most sixes by openers in an ODI innings. The record now belongs to Marsh and Warner, hitting 18, 9 each, obviously. They broke the record of Rohit and Shikhar Dhawan with 16. The ratio there was Rohit hit all 16. Shikhar Dhawan hit none, but that was a previous record for most sixes in an opener. Most sixes hit by openers in ODI innings. Okay, best score for Australia in ODI World Cups. David Warner, 178 against Afghanistan in 2015. David Warner, 168 against Bangladesh in 2019. David Warner, 163 against Pakistan in 2023. He's the first batter in World Cups to hit 150-plus score against Pakistan. Andrew Simons got very close in 2003, hit 143 red.
What a knock that was.
In ODI World Cups, David Warner has 3 scores over 150. No other batter has more than 1. Most hundreds for Australia in World Cups, Ricky Ponting, 5. David Warner, 5. Mark Waugh, 4. Finch, 3. Hayden, 3. Most consecutive hundreds against an opposition in ODIs, Kohli, 4 against the West Indies in 2017 to 18. David Warner, 4 against Pakistan.
Really?
From 2017 until present. So long stretch.
So they've only played each other 4 times.
Well, Warner's only played against Pakistan.
So Warner's played 4 times against Pakistan since 2017.
In ODIs, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of niche, isn't it?
Yeah, because you'd think there'd be like a series there or that he would have played.
He must have got one in the World Cup in 2019.
Yeah. I know they only played Pakistan. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, who am I to question cricket.com stat dog?
Well, indeed. Here's one. I'll see what they're playing at here with cricket.com. But Babar Azam in ODI since the Asia Cup in 2023. 8 innings, 290 runs, averaging 36 with a strike rate of 91.5, 150, 100. Versus Nepal, he had 151 at a strike rate of 115. So the remaining 7 innings, 139 runs and an average of 19.9 at a strike rate of 74. I see what cricket.com's doing there. I see what they're doing.
Numbers don't lie, although they can say statistics do lie.
What they're saying is, Baba, any fucking danger of doing it against anyone except for Zimbabwe and Nepal. Harsh in Zimbabwe, actually pretty good.
Interesting.
Less so in Nepal. Anyway, so back to Australia's innings. Now, Maxwell came in at 3 after the 259-run opening stand. I thought that was a terrible call. 17 overs left in the innings, bringing Maxwell in, and he played an absolutely horrendous shot first ball. Shaheen ends up being on a hat-trick, so he gets Mitch Marsh out. At short fine leg, actually caught by Osama Mir. Pretty well taken, low down, and then next ball, Maxwell backs away, tries to slap fucking Shaheen into that building where that guy's house is outside the ground, fucking on top of the building. You know the one I'm talking about? The guy used to own RCB, doesn't anymore.
Oh,
You know the guy I'm talking about?
yeah.
Yeah, that building?
Yeah, that guy.
You try to fucking bomb him in there.
Mate, look,
Straight
I
up in the air.
have to disagree. Like, I thought it was awesome. I felt fucking morning glory. I felt evening glory.
Maxwell coming in?
Maxwell coming in at 3. You know, this is a chance to make 500. And I, apart from where the ball went, I love that shot because he was obviously. I'm sort of being facetious because he fucking threw the kitchen sink at it. Like it really was like.
Think how big it could have been.
But like it was a real fuck you. Like everything's going to the next level now.
Yeah.
Like it was
Okay.
the amount of space his body and his bat took up, and the fucking angles of it was like sort of roaring wild.
Yeah.
His head was looking up at the guy in the building.
Yeah.
But,
so you're saying you like it as an aggressive play. If it came off, they could have scored 500.
Look, I liked the intent, and I like Australia doing that kind of thing more than ticking along at 5.13 and over, nerdling it to like deep square, and stuff like that. So I thought the intent was fine. I think Maxi's come out and just gone like, we're gonna fuck this baby now.
Yeah.
What puppy is what I meant to say.
Well, having that kind of start just highlights the I wouldn't say ridiculousness, but like just the balance of the side with Marnus and Smith on the side when you're number 2, 59 after about 32 overs, to then have two guys that sort of nerdle it a bit is like, it just doesn't work. Anyway, Shaheen finished 5 for 54. He was fucking outstanding. Harris Ralph went for 24 of his first over. I think after 4 overs, he was none for 60.
He was getting pumped.
Absolutely pumped. He finished after 8 overs, 3 for 83. The comeback from Shaheen and Harris Ralph was outstanding, but Australia, none for 259 to then be 9 for 365 or whatever. So 109 for 108 in the last 16 overs.
It was really bad.
It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
And then a score of 370-ish.
They couldn't get bat on ball. Honestly, it looked like Associate Nation stuff with respect to those who do love Associate Nation cricket. It was like from 44 overs in, you just with the score what it was, you just thought it's got to be Booge Town. Everything must be moosed at all costs and times. They could barely lay a glove on them. Yeah. So like it's credit to Pakistan who bowled well, but I feel like there's a little bit of a pattern there with Australia as well. They got guys who can moose it, but it's not happening for them. Yeah.
And then the score of 370 was genuinely around about par, I felt like, on such a small ground, a flat wicket. Dew was supposed to be a heavy factor coming into the final innings. Anyway, obviously, Australia did just about enough to get it done. So let's talk about the third thing, Australia and Pakistan fortunes. Australians' next games, the next game is against Netherlands, then New Zealand, England, and then they finish with Afghanistan and Bangladesh.
Right.
So you would fancy Australia to beat the Netherlands, of course. Nothing taken for granted, but you would expect that. Meaning that Australia would then be on 6 points. It doesn't really mean anything just yet because they still have to beat Afghanistan and Bangladesh. But if 5 wins does get you enough, they've now got themselves back into a position where it feels like destiny is much more in their hands than literally after the Sri Lanka game when they were none for 120 Sri Lanka and they'd already lost the first 2 games, Australia. So
a lot of work to do, I think.
So many games left. And I think that's even more pronounced when you look at Pakistan, who have now won 2, lost 2. They have got Afghanistan next, then South Africa, then Bangladesh, and then they finish with New Zealand and England. There are so many games left across all formats, of course. It's way too early to say, but Australia just feels like they might have just edged ahead now ahead of Pakistan, given the cricket that they're playing. And obviously Travis Head to come back into the side, you would suspect maybe against the Netherlands or the game after against New Zealand from an Australia perspective. But I guess the tournament isn't over for Australia, and that's something.
Honestly, like
I guess
it's probably. I mean, what I'm keen to know is like, is Travis Head coming back into the side? I think that a very what's the word, like a lot of the concern about Australia's energy and interest in the tournament is somewhat sort of dissipating. They look to be a bit more at the races. The suit's on. They've entered into the arena. They've put a few bets on. They've had a drink or two. They're starting to warm into things. That's the narrative I want to play with it. So
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think it's real. I mean, the Zampa. I think what Zampa did last night is probably the happiest thing for Australia. Like he's obviously struggling. He's got his control back. He really rested the game away.
Yep.
And showing a lot of ticker. to get up, given how he's been feeling.
Yeah.
To forfeit twice in a row now.
Yeah. Hashtag AskTGC. And I want to talk about, I think this might be the highlight of the entire game, Pez. Now, my anchor's written in, and he said, what is this behaviour? Is it common amongst Aussies to squeeze their balls just before they're about to go nuts? Hashtag AskTGC. This is on Twitter. So I'll get Charlie to put up this image, but it's a tweet from an account called Out of Context Cricket. It is the wicket of Bubba Azam. Zampa is bowling. Cummins takes a very good catch at mid-wicket. Steve Smith is on the other side of the wicket at cover that you can see going across the deck there. And Steve Smith, whilst Cummins is taking a screamer, Steve Smith just in his big old left mitt, just fucking squeezing his cock. Really satisfying stuff all around there. Really satisfying. It's got to feel good.
I always think that, like, you see guys on camera sometimes and they might be picking their nose or something and you think, that's easy, he's got him there. You know, like, I think it's fair to say from Steve Smith's perspective, with he's filling it short cover there and Cummins is short mid-wicket. As the ball goes that way, he probably can allow himself a quick cock squeeze without the invasion of cameras. Yeah,
but it's also like that ball's taken, 0.2 of a second to get off the stick to Cummins, and it's like, well, here's my moment. Quick thinking.
Because just before that, he would have had his hands ready for a catch. If it comes his way, he's not holding his cock. That'd be a story.
I'm into that.
Yeah, me too. But it goes the other way. So as soon as it gets hit, he goes. So it is obviously some kind of anxiety or like some crutch of his as a catch is about to be taken.
Yes.
You know, like the same way we all yell out catch.
Yeah.
Just so the person for whom the ball is travelling to is now aware that that's the action they have to perform.
Very much tree falling in the wood stuff, you know? Like if you don't say that, does no one know what to do?
Maybe that's why Usman Amir dropped the catch. Because no one yelled it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why didn't anyone yell Usama miss?
Boys.
Usama miss, sorry.
Boys, no one fucking told me to catch it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Where was the shout? I'm just going to let this bounce off my chest.
It was a good first touch.
Yeah.
Like Drogba in his prime. All right, well, Australia now find themselves in 4th position until the next thing that happens, and then that'll change. It's a massive game tonight for both sides in England and South Africa. And then, of course, a top-of-the-table clash on Sunday between New Zealand and India. Click subscribe if you're new to the channel and join us here for the rest of the World Cup. Plenty of fun and frivolity happening here. And, of course, we'll be squeezing our nuts for every catch that goes up in the air as long as someone yells out catch. See you tomorrow.